Welcome to this tutorial on Xamarin. We're going to be seeing where to find all the content for downloading the Xamarin IDE and the little differences so that you know what when you're choosing what to do. So let's get started. First things first, I know most of you know that Xamarin got acquired by Microsoft, so it's only normal that now you can find it on imagine.microsoft.com. This is basically DreamSpark. They changed it to Imagine now. You're able to use your Concordia net name, or sorry, your email, to be able to sign up and be able to download this for free. So in my year, I was using Windows, and other team members had Macs. So basically, Macs are going to have to use Xamarin Studio, which is the most optimal for them. Whereas I found that Visual Studio was way more helpful because I was able to use other tools like ReSharper for C#, which was a JetBrains extension. So there's no right and wrong. Whatever you feel works best for you, you can. There's Xamarin for Windows also. So let's get started. I'll just close this up and I'll be able to, there we go. So right here, you're able to sign in just by using your Concordia email, so the one at live.concordia.ca. If I go to downloads here, I'm able to find the tools, but let's start with very simple. If you go here, Visual Studio, you can find Visual Studio IDE and Xamarin. So depending on which one you want. So I'll open just this in the side tab. So when installing Visual Studio though, you need to check off the Xamarin option so that it downloads all the packages for it. And here you'll be able to see all the necessary documentation for what you need. So here you're able to download it for free, and then you see here it shows you as Visual Studio, but again, it's the same thing for both. Xamarin Test Cloud, I'll talk about it in a couple of seconds. It's basically for UI testing, and there's reporting metrics, but some of these you have to pay for. And at the end, there's Xamarin University, so in case somebody was enrolled in this, you're able to do all the courses to best help your team. So if you download the Xamarin IDE, I have it on Visual Studio, and I'll be opening it to show you how to create a project very quickly and run a demo app. But it's pretty straightforward, so I'm not going to waste most of your time. We could do this in the workshop all together. Now I just want to show you a little something. If we go back to the slides, right here I was talking about extra content. So as I said, because Xamarin was acquired by Microsoft, now you're able to go into resources, and then if you go to trainings, you're going to see here Microsoft Virtual Academy. So if I open this, sorry, there we go. You're going to see a bunch of tools. So C# XAML is basically what helps you do the UI. But if I look up here and I just write Xamarin, you see here I have a bunch of courses. I'm just going to open them up just to show you quick. It's a really helpful guide that Microsoft took into their hands, so you don't have to Google YouTube videos and follow different types of people showing different things, and it's never always constant. So right here, I would recommend for somebody to start with this one, and then from there, you kind of have an idea of what you want to do and how to do a couple of things, and then really how much of you guys have coded just by reading text. I think by playing with this IDE, it's the best way to actually learn how to use all this and be most optimal for your project. So without further ado, I'm going to close this, and I'm going to open up Visual Studio. Won't take long. So it opened up. So I'm going to go up here and do File, and I'm going to create a new project. So if you notice right here, you have C#, C++, and other tools that you might have chosen when you were downloading Visual Studio's IDE. But I'm going to choose C#, and then here I have a choice between Android, which is going to be with C#, so this is using Xamarin's platform, or if I chose cross-platform, it's going to be something called Forms, which is not the same thing, and this, depending on what you want to do, if you want to build for both platforms or you want to just build for the Android, there's some benefits and some drawbacks depending on which one you choose. So in my year, we just did Android so that we could have more functionalities instead of working on both platforms, and also we only had one iOS phone, so we didn't see the need to do this. So let's call it Hello World Xamarin. And I'm going to create this project. I chose a blank app. There's other tools you can choose. Let's just say this. So the project just opened up. If I look here to the right, properties is where you want to set most of your settings for your app. I'm just going to explain quick. If I go here into activity, if I open this, this is basically where I write all my functionality, my code for this activity. And if I want to see how is this placed and what is this button they're talking about, if you open resource, and then you're going to be able to see in layouts, main layout, and if I open this, there we go. So this is the basic UI. You're not so much a fan of dragging and dropping. If you look here, you have properties, toolbox. It'll give you different types of things you get to use. You could drag and drop things into this. But sometimes you'd rather just work with the XML, which I sometimes rather do because I have more control. I could copy paste very easily when I'm repeating some features. So back in the main activity, I see here that it's going to start here, and then it's going to create this view and then put this layout into it, and then it's going to go looking for this button, and then after it finds this button, it's going to basically format the text and increment how many clicks I'm doing. So when you plug your phone, if you look up here, you can choose whether you want to use the emulator or your phone. I always rather use my phone, and when I run my phone, I'm able to see the app on my phone and be able to click and see everything happening. We could do this in the tutorial, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. So I'm just going to go back to the slides for a couple of seconds and talk to you about this. So Xamarin Test Cloud is going to be the framework you'll be able to use to do your UI testing. And so it's usually you have to pay for this, but you get a 30-day free trial, and you're 6 people. So if you do each one 30 days, that's the entire semester. So you're able to use this to do your testing, and it actually tests it on all types of devices. NuGet is going to be your testing framework for unit tests, system tests. You'll see more the difference when you go to your 345 class and you go more into depth, the differences between unit testing and system testing. So I hope this was kind of useful for you guys. And anyways, on Monday we're going to be meeting all together, and all Xamarin teams are going to be helping each other out to setting up all these systems and making sure you're able to run at least a demo app. And then from there, it's trial and error and simplest nights. So I hope you enjoyed this, and see you next time.